Your competitors are outscaling you not because they work harder, but because they can focus deeper. And while you're stuck in a distraction cycle, bouncing between tasks, opening 50 different YouTube tabs, and ending the day thinking you could always do more, they're entering 6-hour flow states and accomplishing more than your entire work week. Because the brutal truth is your brain is actually hardwired for peak performance. But there's 3 things constantly sabotaging your focus daily that you don't even know exist. Now, I've coached over 100 entrepreneurs to fix these focus killers so they can actually enter these deep work flow states for 6 hours a day. And so today I'm going to show you what these focus killers are, how to solve them, and the simple adjustments that will unlock you 6-hour flow states daily. Okay, let's dive in. So before we jump the gun and go straight into the system that will help you and save your focus, we first need to define what peak performance actually is, because a lot of people get the wrong definition for it. Peak performance is operating the highest versions of yourself mentally and physically. And obviously when you think about it, this is going to require lots of energy to do it, right? Operating your best self. And so the very first thing we need to optimize is fixing our energy and optimizing our energy so we can actually reach the peak performance levels, because a big reason people just can't reach it isn't because of their focus being bad, it's just because they don't have the energy to actually use and focus with. And so there's 4 pillars to actually fixing your focus that we're going to go over right now. The first one is obviously sleep. Sleep is the biggest one. Sleep is what I would call the lifeblood of flow. It's what allows you to get into flow state. It's what allows you to focus for multiple hours in a day, especially reaching peak performance levels. And so the very first thing I want you to optimize is your sleep, because I guarantee if I looked at your sleep schedule and your sleep quality, it wouldn't be the best. You probably go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 6, right? You're getting like 4 hours of sleep a night and you're wondering why you can't focus. There's your answer, And so the fundamentals of sleep I want you to master is I want you to first get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, right? That is the golden standard. Most people like sleep 4, and it's what these top entrepreneurs, these top people who work long hours sleep for as well. But by far the most important part of optimizing your sleep is having a consistent wake and bedtime. You see, your brain will build a pattern for how long you need to sleep for and when it needs to release a certain brain chemicals to actually go to sleep on time, right? So for example, if I go to sleep at 10 p.m. every single night, my brain's going to start to know, okay, this is when we go to sleep, so we need to stop preparing for sleep before this. I'm going to release a bunch of melatonin inside this guy's brain, and boom, he's going to knock himself out. So that's honestly more important than how long you sleep for, just making sure you have a consistent sleep and wake time. Now obviously, to actually optimize your sleep, you want to make sure you reduce every single type of distraction. So this could be like your phone when you go to sleep. I know you scroll on your phone every single night. I know you do not lie to yourself. You probably scroll Instagram reels, we watch YouTube videos. Please stop doing that, because what you're doing is you're literally tricking your brain into thinking it's sunlight when really obviously it's night. And some of the things are wearing a sleep mask and also listening to some kind of sound or just blocking out noise so you don't get distracted. That will heighten your sleep quality. Now the next thing is how you actually recover from your work inside the day. See, when you use the energy to focus, obviously like I said, it's going to be very expensive to the brain. And so what we want to do is do recovery after every single or few deep work sessions. So let's say for example it's 8 a.m. I've just done a 90-minute debug session, right? I'm feeling pretty tired. I don't want to do the next debug session. And so what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to do a 20-minute recovery break. I'm going to say to myself, okay, let's literally just go for a walk. Let's just close my eyes and look at a wall for 20 minutes, right? It sounds boring, but what this is doing is just allowing your brain to rest. You need to rest more if you want to work more. So literally after every single few debug sessions, to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to just take a 30-minute break now. I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm not going to do anything stimulating. I'm just going to exist like an NPC. And so those are the 2 ways you can rest inside the day: active recovery, unstimulated recovery, but also optimizing your sleep. But now you're probably asking, like, Harry, this is amazing advice, right? You're teaching me how to optimize my sleep, but how the hell do I actually focus? Well, this is exactly what we're going to go over right now. See, if all focus is how you steer that energy you've got, right? Imagine you've got all this energy. Focus is how you steer it towards the direction you want to go, which is the goal, the task we're trying to work on. And so I want you to first imagine that you've got this beam of light going through this hole. Pause. And as time goes on, this beam carries on going through this hole, but suddenly this glass wall just goes in front of it. The glass walls in this case represents distractions, right? Imagine this beam of light is your focus, and the hole is the task we're trying to work on. We're putting all that energy towards that task, but we have distractions that come on, reflect our focus from the task we're trying to work on. And so the goal of actually improving our focus is wanting to get rid of all these glass walls inside of our routine. And all you need to do, it's very simple to remove distractions. So many people complicate it. all you need to do is first identify what is actually distracting you. Is it like your phone? Is it YouTube? Is it Instagram? And then once you've done that, literally just increase the friction to get onto these distractions, right? Like for example, I say in all my videos, for me to actually get on my phone, I had to deactivate like multiple different screen time blockers. Then I have to go on Instagram, then I have to scroll, right? I have to go through all these little steps, and obviously my brain doesn't want to go through all these, so it just gets back to work anyway. And you can do that with every single distraction, right? If it's a TV, literally just unplug the TV from your wall. And so that's exactly how you improve your focus. All you need to do, identify distractions, increase the friction, boom, you'll be able to focus a lot longer. And because you've already optimized your energy, you won't have to worry about like problems like sleep and, you know, not having the energy to do work. Okay? And by the way, if you're an entrepreneur who wants to get into a flow state for 6+ hours a day, completely blow up your business if you do have one, click the first link in the description, join my free community, we get a free flow state course and a free coaching call with me. And now the next part of this video is pretty complex. It's going to be how you can optimize this focus to actually reach flow state in a day. Honestly, this is the main way I've taught my brain to actually focus on multiple hours in a day without getting distracted. And it's balancing your default mode network and your task positive network. And we'll go over what these are actually right now. So the default mode network is basically the side in your brain that is associated with daydreaming, zoning out, and you're not really focused on anything, right? So you can probably pinpoint times in your day where you're just looking out the window when you're working. But then you have the task positive network, which is the complete opposite. This is when you're laser focused on a task, all your energy is on one thing, and you would most likely expect me to say, oh, we need to get rid of the default mode network and then just optimize the task positive network and make sure that's all activated, right? But that's not the case. What we want to do is find a balance in between these both, because that is where flow state is most accessible. And so there's literally a step-by-step method you can do and go through to actually balance these both out. And the first thing you need to do is just simply identify which side you're on. Are you daydreaming right now? Are you laser focused on a task and you find it hard to actually think about anything? And all you need to do is switch between them intentionally. If you feel like you're super laser focused and you have no thoughts, what you want to do is literally just take a break and go on a walk. Literally just step away from your desk. And if you find that you're super like just daydreaming all the time, you're zoning out all the time, clear all the distractions, make sure you know exactly what you're working on and set a timer for how long you need to complete that task for. But to make this super simple, all you need to do is just set like a 90-minute timer for how long you think the task is going to take, or like just how long you're going to work for those 90 minutes, and then take like a 20-minute recovery break, which is like when you're activating a DMN network and you just go for a walk, you take your step away from your monitor, and then literally just repeat that cycle for the entire day. And that's literally the 3-step process I've taught tons of entrepreneurs to optimize and fix these focus killers. I will just say though, the most important part of this video is honestly just the first part, which is energy. If you want to actually focus for long hours, you need energy, and if you don't have energy, you need to optimize your sleep and your recovery. Okay, so like I said at the start of the video, if you're an entrepreneur who wants to get into a flow state for 6+ hours a day, complete and blow up your business by improving your mental performance, reaching peak levels of performance, click the first link in the description to join my free community. We get a free flow state course and a free coaching call with me. Okay, an amazing day. Peace.